In the palace of Pella, under the sharp Macedonian sun, a boy was born to King Philip II and his fierce queen, Olympias. According to legend, Olympias dreamed of a lightning bolt striking her womb before Alexander's birth, a sign, priests whispered, that the child was destined for greatness. Alexander grew up listening to tales of Achilles, his hero, and was tutored by none other than Aristotle, who filled his mind with philosophy, science, and the thirst for conquest. As a youth, Alexander stunned the Macedonian court by taming Bucephalus, a wild, unmanageable stallion no one else could control. Observing that the horse was afraid of its shadow, Alexander turned him toward the sun, calming him with patience and skill. King Philip, moved by the boy's fearlessness, exclaimed, "My son, seek out a kingdom worthy of yourself, for Macedonia is too small for you." It was a prophecy in disguise. When Philip was assassinated at a royal celebration, chaos threatened the kingdom. But the 20-year-old Alexander seized power ruthlessly and swiftly. He put down rebellions with cold efficiency, stormed through Thessaly, and reasserted Macedonian dominance across Greece. By razing Thebes to the ground as an example, Alexander sent a clear message. He would tolerate no disobedience. At the shores of the Hellespont, Alexander paused before stepping onto Asian soil. He threw a spear into the ground and declared the land his by right of conquest. The campaign against Persia had begun. At the Battle of Granicus, he led a thunderous cavalry charge across the river, nearly dying, but rallying his men to a stunning victory that echoed throughout the ancient world. In the city of Gordium, Alexander encountered the fabled Gordian knot, a tangled mass of rope that legend said only the future ruler of Asia could untie. Rather than laboring to unravel it, Alexander drew his sword and sliced it apart with a single stroke. The Alexandrian solution became a symbol of his bold, decisive style. Destiny was not awaited, it was seized. At Issus and later Gaugamela, Alexander faced the massive armies of Darius III, king of Persia. Outnumbered, Alexander used brilliant tactics, a feigned retreat here, a focused strike there, to break the Persian lines. Darius fled, abandoning his family and treasury. Alexander now marched into the Persian capitals of Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis, each richer than the last. At Persepolis, drunk with victory and wine, he set the grand palace ablaze, a symbolic end to the Persian Empire. Not satisfied with Asia, Alexander pressed eastward into India. At the Battle of the Hydaspes River, he faced King Porus, who brought elephants against him. Alexander adapted swiftly, using mobility and discipline to defeat the larger forces. Impressed by Porus's bravery, Alexander reinstated him as a satrap, showing magnanimity as well as ambition. But after years of relentless campaigning, his men, weary and homesick, finally mutinied at the Hyphasis River. Alexander, heartbroken, was forced to turn back. Alexander returned to Babylon, where he began to plan even grander conquests, Arabia, the edges of the known world. But his body, worn down by wounds, exhaustion, and perhaps poison, failed him. After days of fever, Alexander lay speechless, passing his signet ring to his general Perdiccas. When asked to whom he left his empire, he allegedly whispered, "To the strongest." At just 32 years old, the greatest conqueror the world had ever seen was dead, and the world he built would soon tear itself apart.